Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of my live tea tasting. I've got an exciting blend for you guys. Well, it's not, I keep calling it blend. I've got an exciting taste for you guys today. And I'm very much looking forward to it because I've been sitting on this tea for about, I want to say 9 months. But you know, life gets in the way sometimes and I haven't been able to bring it out, but I'm finally getting around to it. It's a new company that I discovered. Well, I didn't discover, but you know, it's called Volition Tea, and today's blend is Girl Village Raw Pu Erh. And you guys know I love a good Pu Erh, and I've been dying to try this one in particular. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So if you've watched my hey Snail, welcome. If you watched my my videos before, you know that there are two types of Pu Erh. There's a cooked Pu Erh, and there's an uncooked or raw Pu Erh. This one is raw, and you'll see that it's very evident when you look at the leaves themselves. Let me pull out a big one. So you can see it's very much green, very light, very stick and branch-like. So you see right off the bat, this is a raw Pu Erh, full leaf. It's nice and big. And so you have to brew it in the same sense. What is Sheng? Sheng is raw. Sheng means raw Pu Erh. As opposed to Shu, which is the cooked Pu Erh. And the cooked Pu Erh has more of an earthy kind of flavor to it, while the uncooked or the raw Pu Erh it's more on the leafy green side to it. So if you take a look at the already steeped, you'll notice it's nice and green and yellow. In bright colors, so that's even further evidence that this is uncooked, and it's closer to a green tea than it is a black tea, but it's still considered a dark tea, even though it's uncooked, because Pu Erh is its own category of tea. And you can tell by the liqueur, it's nice and clear. You have very little sediment. I'm not seeing anything floating around. And it's very light, very green, and very yellowy, yellow coppery kind of a thing. It's really nice. And it's got a nice vegetal scent to it. It's a little bit grassy, a little bit salty. So I'm expecting a really nice flavor to this. Let's go ahead and take our first slurp. Oh, wow, that's really nice. It's really smooth, really gentle on the tongue. It's kind of fragrant. There's a slight perfume to it. But it's interesting because I'm only getting it on the tongue. I'm not it doesn't smell like perfume, but you can kind of sort of taste it. It's kind of floral, and there's a bit of a milky finish. I like that. It's really soft. So let's take a look at what the steeped leaf looks like in comparison. You saw how stick and branch-like the first leaf was. Now this one opened up quite a bit. It's just breaking up in my hands a little bit. There we go. So you can see in one steep, it opened up practically completely. Look at that. It's the entire leaf is just wide open. It doesn't take any effort at all to open it up. It's nice and fragrant. Wait, is anybody? Let me see, because I'm not getting any. I'm not getting any comments for some reason. Oh, yeah, I hate it when that happens. Can somebody please comment on the video so that I can see if it at least is updating? There we go. Assuming we can't re-steep. Yeah, okay. You can re-steep, but it'll be at your own peril. Usually, Pu Erh is a strong tea. However, this one, since it's raw, it's going to be more delicate. I steep this at 180 degrees for 3 minutes. So that's considered an understeep for black tea and dark teas in general. But it worked out in this one, in this case, because you get a nice green flavor. It's not bitter at all. I'm not getting any kind of astringency. I'm not getting any kind of bitterness to it. Excuse me. Usually when you oversteep a green tea, especially, it tastes kind of soapy, it's kind of bitter. It can be a bit of a disaster. But this one's really, really smooth. There's very little mouthfeel. There's no like graininess or anything to it. I don't feel any kind of thickness. It's all just kind of like it's very smooth, very liquidy, kind of watery, but like that's just in texture, not in flavor. I'm not getting any of the. I'm not getting any water flavors or water gap flavors, I guess. I don't know, because like when you talk about tea and like with tea sometimes being watery, especially in white tea, you can taste like you barely taste any tea. You just think you're drinking. You just think you're drinking hot water, but that's not the case. This one, it has a nice full flavor. It's not too bold. Hey Martin, welcome. It's not bold. It's really soft and smooth. Has a really, you can feel it going down. It's really, really nice. I just wish this thing came in a bigger container, because this one, I mean, it feels like it could only make about 2 cups. I used about half of it in here, and then half of it just for display. And you see, like, it's big leaf, so it doesn't hold a whole lot in here. I haven't, like, okay, so the pack that I bought was a 4-pack, and I'll be doing one every week for the next 4 weeks, and it comes in a package like this. So I have, it looks like I have about 8 cups. I had to do a little head math there. It looks like I have about 8 cups in the package. I don't know if the other ones, the other teas should be about the same size, so I'm guessing around 2 cups per person. Per package. So yeah, I mean, I kind of wish that it was bigger, because I could see myself drinking more of this. It's really, really good. And there's kind of like there's a general taste that Pu Erhs have that's kind of, whether it's cooked or not, because it's aged, it has a certain kind of quality to it. It's a little hard to describe, because, like, if you've had it, you know what it is. But if you haven't, you're kind of stuck there trying to find the right words. It's a quality of it that when it's aged, you can taste the aging of it, rather than having like a green tea, so to speak, that's just put it out. Everybody who has had a green tea will know what that green tea tastes like. but there's kind of a depth of flavor that Pu Erh has that other teas don't. It's more pronounced in a cooked Pu Erh because the cooked Pu Erhs tend to be more pungent, and so it's there. It's like it's in your face. You can taste it. This one is harder to describe because of that. It's not been cooked, so you're getting more of a green tea experience, but it's got that deeper quality of flavor. I'm really loving this tea because I can feel it, I can taste it going all the way down, and there's a certain kind of full flavor that, as I speak, it swirls around the tongue and the back of my throat. I'm loving it. You know, it's a very nice, soft warmth, and like right about now, it's snowing outside. I could use all the warmth I can get, So, feeling this, it's the kind of flavor that sticks with you. It's a slow burn. Well, I wouldn't say slow. It's about a medium length, because as I'm talking, it's not as profound. It starts to fade rather quickly, but not instantly. If that makes any sense. There's like a kind of copper flavor that's around the front and mid of my mouth. It's like a little bit salty. It's really, really nice. It's kind of grassy, savory. And since this was not steeped at a high temperature, you can just drink it rather quickly. I had this set for about, I started the tea about 15 minutes beforehand, and it's warm. It's still like warm. Next time I would have to drink it a little bit quicker, because I'm not getting like the heat from a full cup. You know what I'm saying? Like if this was a black tea, it would be perfect, because right about now it's kind of chilly outside, and I'm still feeling a little bit cold, but that's why I have to drink this faster, So I can feel it on like the warmth in my chest. It's really pleasant. Now, this is a caffeinated blend, because it does have the Camellia sinensis plant in it. It's not as heavily caffeinated as it should be, because usually the darker the colors, the more caffeine comes out of it. But interestingly enough, it's white tea that has the most caffeine, but it doesn't come off in the liqueur as much, because I've talked about this before, where caffeine acts as a natural pest repellent. So white teas tend to have more of it, but because it's not banged up and it's not like released, so the oxidation stops. It's barely oxidized, if at all. So it's not like released into the liqueur, even though naturally on the plant it has the most, because it's trying to protect the baby leaves. So a little bit of science experiment there. Ooh, that's really nice. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open up the floor. Questions, comments, anything you want to talk about, now is the time. I'm going to answer Teresa's question, as I always do. What would I pair this blend? What would I pair this tea with It's such a bad habit. I have got to break it. What would I pair this tea with? Because it's really soft and kind of grassy, I would pair it with something light. Maybe a fish dish, maybe like a salmon or a grilled chicken. Something, maybe a ham with a honey glaze. 'Cause I can definitely see some sort of sweetness pairing well with this. That'll definitely do it. There's a kind of like creaminess that goes along with it. So I would imagine maybe like an ice cream, like a vanilla ice cream, going well with this. Speaking of which, I did. Would I put milk and ice in it? I mean, I could see icing it. I could see icing it as like a not really putting ice in it, but rather either cold brewing or hot and then cooling it with ice. But as it is, I would not put ice in it now because it was only brewed for 1 cup and not concentrated enough. And because this is a green tea, it's a green Pu Erh. Essentially, it'll dilute the flavor. So I would actually not ice this particular cup, but in the future, possibly. I can see this being really nice iced. As far as putting milk, what region of tea is it from? It's from China. Pu Erh is generally from China. I don't remember the actual area. But it's produced by Yangxiu Hai. So that's the name of the farm that was there. See, but where in China? I forget the region. Like I know this. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Gosh. I feel like I lost some tea nerd points there, because it's like I want to say Anhui. So I want to say that. I'm not 100% sure. I see, that's the one thing. Like, I'm terrible at geography, but I know specifically that Pu Erh is mainly from China. So I get points for that at least. Oh, that's nice. All right, so I do have a couple of announcements to go by. I'm not. If you've tuned in last week to the 200th episode, we did an AMA. So I do have an announcement. I am going to set up I'm going to start setting up tea parties again, virtual tea parties. Excuse me. And they will be open up to all community members. I'll be adjusting the links, putting them on the page. So keep your eyes open, and we'll have those links out for you. We'll possibly be doing a movie night too. At the same time. What else? I had a really great time yesterday. I went to the Tallulah tea shop, and I was I was their guest on their stream, their weekly Thursday stream. And it was just an absolutely wonderful time. So I want to thank the crew at Tallulah for hosting me. It was such a great time. We had some really good discussions, talking about the future of the community. So if you get the chance, definitely check it out. It's still at the top of the community thread. So definitely check it out. I did make some interesting announcements there, so I might as well make that announcement here too, because I'm sure not everybody has seen it. But this coming spring, it looks around early spring, maybe around March or so, I'm going to be releasing a book. The book is called, and I have to I have to think about this one because it's a long title. It's The Ballad of Eddie and Edie and Other Nonsensical Meanderings of a Semi-Demented Weirdo. It's such a long title, but it's got a bunch of silly poems in it. It's a comedy book, but it has some poems that'll be emotionally moving. Right now it's in the editing session, so hopefully that'll be done pretty soon. And once that's done, I'll be working on producing and getting the Kickstarter ready, because that book is going to help me fund my personal vision for where the community is going. It's going to be community events and experiences, and it's going to be just a wonderful, wonderful thing. I'll be doing live tea tastings and hosting them for private parties, events, stuff like that. So I'll be putting that out in the Kickstarter, and hopefully I'll be able to raise enough money to get the party started. So that's it as far as my announcements are concerned. I think it's very exciting that a lot of that is going to be coming through through the pipeline. This is my first book, and I've been thrilled to write it. Exciting! Oh yeah, absolutely. I've been thrilled to write it. I have a few friends helping me with illustrations. So it's going to be a fun ride, and I tell you, I'm really looking forward to this. So yeah, I guess that's it. I'm going to go ahead and close things out. So thank you for joining me. It's been a pleasure tasting this blend for you, and if you'd like to try it yourself, I'll go ahead and post the link on the description. In the meantime, have a great night, a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye.